Shalom family, welcome back again to my channel. On today's video, I will share with you what my kids eat in a day. I will share with you breakfast, lunch and dinner. So we are going to be cooking together. Without wasting too much of your time, we are going to go ahead and start with the video. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I will appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new video. If you are returning, welcome. It's always great to have you here. For breakfast, they are going to be having something very simple, which is going to be some eggs and some waffles. It's nothing new, so I just break 2 eggs into the pan and then close it so that the eggs can cook properly. I was trying to get the eggs not to break as I was cracking the egg into the pan, but it breaks anyway. That's how my kids prefer. They like when the yolk is not broken, but mommy failed, so they are still okay with it as long as I don't add too many things on the egg. They are okay with it. Just like when I'm making the eggs for their dad, they don't like it because I'm adding all these onions, tomatoes and all that. So they don't like that. They prefer the egg to be plain. So I put the egg into the waffle and close it and make it into a nice mini sandwich. So I put it into the plate for them so that they can just see the beautiful display, so they can be excited to sit on the table and eat their breakfast as always. I also fried a hot dog and chopped some some slices of the apple. My kids love apples on everything, so I just added some few slices of apple and that is their breakfast ready. After the breakfast, I went ahead and do some cleaning up so that I can prepare to get the lunch done as well. So here is the breakfast. If you watch it till here, please comment below breakfast so that I will know that you watch the breakfast. For lunch now, the kids are going to be having some chicken nuggets and chips. So I'm going to just take the chicken nuggets and put them into the baking pan and then also put the chips together so that I can be done quicker. And here they were already gone to school, so I just wanted to do something quick before they come back from school. And this is a very light lunch as well because they already have lunch in school. I do those videos separate because also they take me some time, because I usually like to cook them something in the morning as well. So I would make them something very simple, or sometimes I would cook them something that is for lunch for when they come back, and then I'll make something simple when they are going to school. So it depends on the lunch they had when they are going to school, and then I'll be able to know what type of lunch they will have when they come back. Sometimes they could have just a smoothie coming back home, or they could have a heavy lunch as well. It depends on what they had in school for lunch. Okay, so here is the chicken nuggets and chips are done. So all what I'll do here is to just put it into the plate for them. One requested coleslaw and one requested ketchup, and that will be just the lunch done for the girls. And then so I will just get ready and prepare for their dinner. Now what you can do, you can comment below lunch if you have watched the full lunch so that I will know that you've watched the lunch till the end. Now let's go ahead and get into the dinner. We're gonna get started with the dinner. So the girls are gonna be having some okra soup with yellow curry. I'm gonna just blend the chili, onion, ginger, and some garlic. Put them together and just use the blender or chopper, whatever you call it, and then just make them like this. You can as well just use a knife if you prefer. It's just that it's quicker for me to do it this way, and also I prefer everything to be chopped into same size like this, so that is why I just put everything together. Now when I bring this my African pot, always know that something is cooking. Okay, so I just wash my meat properly and then put it into the pot and then put everything inside that I was chopping, and I do not waste anything. Okay, so I just wash also my blender and put everything inside. Add all the spices that you prefer. So these are my spices, and then I just added also the no cube, so I just use my hand to crush it and put it into the spice as well. It just kind of like it more easier if you can just crush it with your hand and then put it in the pot. I also added some curry powder, a little bit, and then I put some water and mix everything together. I think I did this a night before actually. It's just more easier if you can do it a night before, because then the spice will go into the meat nicely, if you know what I mean. But of course you don't have to. If you don't have time, you can just put everything into the pot and you're good to go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take my okra, and you have to wash this very well. Like maybe add some salt or vinegar or something that you can use to wash it very properly. And then because you're gonna have visitors like this, so you want to make sure that you wash it very well. So after washing it very well, I went ahead and started chopping my okra. I don't know why, for some reason I do enjoy chopping the okra, so that is why I go ahead and also record chopping it, because I just enjoy chopping the okra. But anyway, I do start off by cutting the top of the okra. I think you can still cook those, I don't know, but I don't cook them because they are more harder, so I just can't imagine. I think they would take longer if you have to cook them as well. Now let me just quickly tell you that if you are someone who's not interested in cooking this type of food, you can skip this video and watch another video that is similar to this one that will not have any African food as the dinner on it. I'm gonna go ahead and chop my okra. Just cut the top first, and then when I finish cutting the top, I usually just cut the tails as well. I also think they are harder to cook, so that is why I chop the top and chop off the tail as well. But sometimes I will just slice, and then when you get to the end or the tail of the okra, I will just get rid of that. So that's what I do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop my okra, and then I will move to the next stage.
Today it happened. They went on to Los, a name of friend. Her name is Joey. We need a pet sandwich from us, which is why I'm obsessed with paintbrushes and yogurt. She smiles at me. This moment of impression. Thank you, but I'm still.
Now that I've chopped the okra, so I'm gonna put it into my blender again. So you see my blender becomes very useful when I'm cooking, because yeah, that was what I got it for. I use it to chop and blend and all that. So I take some of the okra and blend it kind of smoothly. That's not the type of smooth I wanted. It just got a little bit too smooth by mistake, and yeah, it seems like I blended for longer. So I usually prefer to make it kind of rough, the same way that I blended the onions and ginger and garlic. So then I also blend some tomatoes. So here I have a little bit of tomatoes, a little bit of the peppers, and a little bit of chili as well, and anything that is red that I'm adding, I put it separate. Again, this one I wanted to chop rough chop, but for some reason it just went a little bit too smooth than I wanted it to be. Then I'm gonna take my stock fish. The stockfish, listen, the people in my home, they love the stockfish, even though I don't. But of course, I'm cooking for my family, so I have to make what they like. So I take this stockfish and put it, I usually do this at the beginning of the cooking. I'll just put it into the boiled water and put it aside so it can be softened, and also it will be easy for me to wash it properly. While my meat is boiling, so I take it out from the broth and then I just separate it so that it can cool. Just in case there are some bigger chunks of the meat, I can cut it into small sizes. It's just more easier for the kids. They prefer it that way. Again, I'm gonna use another onion, so I'm gonna add my palm oil and some onions, and I will add some spices. Again, that depends on the type of spices you like. And then remember the tomato, peppers, chilies, anything that is red, I chopped it and then I also added here. Close the pot for about up to 5 minutes, about 2 minutes, and then I close it for about 2 minutes and then I open it and add my meat. Remember the meat that I boiled separate. So now the meat was done, I take it out and then I add it into this pot and starting to fry everything. Remember the stockfish I washed earlier, I put in the pot. I've washed it and removed any bones, and not all the bones, because I don't usually put the stockfish for the girls, so I don't always remove all the bones. I leave some on it because my Lord prefer it to be like that. So I put the stockfish and put also some stock as well into the food, and then I'm just probably gonna just close it for another few minutes just for it to kind of thicken a little bit, and we come back where I will add my okra again, and you see how everything is coming together. You know what, once you start to cook this, you understand that it's a really nice food. I know that some people don't like the look of it, but let me tell you, it's just a vegetable, and yeah, so I think when you keep eating it, you get used to it, but it's also delicious, so why not? My kids love it. It's not my favorite, but my family's favorite, so I just enjoy cooking anything that my family love. So I will just add the smoother okra that I blended earlier, so that was what I added first. Again, before I added the okra, I did boil it a little bit. I think I didn't show you that part. And then after that, I added it here. And then once it is almost done, I then add the other okra that I was chopping. So my kids are actually making noise outside as I'm making the voiceover. So hopefully you're not able to hear that. But I then added my fresh okra that I chopped earlier. And that is my okra soup done. I don't add some other things on okra that you might expect to see. I think I've said that before, that there are so many things that we do not eat, that we don't put on the food, that are biblically not clean, so we just don't use them. So there are so many things that I do not put on the food that you might expect to see. But of course, if you are expecting that typical Nigerian okra soup, there are so many videos on YouTube that you can check them out. But this is how my family loves the okra soup. And what I do at the end, if I feel like there's too much oil, I'll just kind of drain some oil out so that it will be nice and healthier for the family. So this is my okra soup done. It's looking so delicious, and the girls, they enjoyed every bit of it. They just love, this is one of their favorite meal in this home, and we just enjoy eating this one. So that is done. I hope you enjoyed watching me just cooking the okra soup for the family. They had it with yellow garri. For some reason, this garri was so yellow, but that is not how it was, but it just looks so yellow on the camera. But yeah, it's so delicious. They were rushing to eat, so I couldn't show you the process of making this. I believe everyone knows how to make garri. It's just adding boiled water and then putting the yellow garri into the water, and you just do the goqoza, and then that's it, you'll be done. And now I also made for them some dessert. So I did an unleavened cake because it was also Friday. So every Friday I usually, for my prepping for Sabbath, I would make unleavened cake. Sometimes I would make 2 of them, just because sometimes the girls will prefer some chocolate one, and then but I just made this one because I also wanted to show you what I did for the dessert. I used 3 or 4 eggs, and then I took some butter. I added 1 sugar, you know what, not full packet of sugar, it's a half cup of sugar, and then I also added some of this milk. Is what is condensed milk ish, sometimes it's long. Anyway guys, then I blended everything together. So this cake is just 3 ingredients. It's just eggs, some butter and flour. That's what it is. And then I added a little drizzle of the condensed oil. So it's eggs, butter, and the flour. Eggs, butter and flour, and then I added a drizzle of the condensed milk. That's what unleavened cake is. There is no yeast, there's no baking powder, there's no baking soda, there's no any of that. It's just those 3 ingredients. So that is it. And that sometimes I would add maybe then some chocolate on it, just to, if I want to make a flavor. But this is the basic one when I want to make just a basic unleavened cake. So here I was in a rush because it was Friday. I wanted to make sure I get everything done before sundown. And so yeah, so this is my just a very basic unleavened cake that I made as a dessert for the girls. They enjoyed it. You see, I enjoy making unleavened cake. Every Friday I'm looking forward to make a beautiful unleavened cake. Of course, if I don't have time, I still make the very basic one, like the one I did here. So after adding everything, and then I take this and put the butter. I got this from Amazon. If I have the chance, I will put it on the description below. I got the 2 of them. They are very affordable. They come in a 2 in set of 2. So I've been using them for over a year now. They are very easy to use, very easy to wash as well. We have come to the end of this video, and I want you to comment below, if you can, which country are you watching me from, as I am cooking this delicious meal from Ireland. So comment below if you are watching from Ireland or you are watching in another country. And if you are watching in another country, comment your country that you are watching from below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, family, and I'll see you again on my next video. Shalom.